Welcome back, Heels and Quads Media here on YouTube. I'm Tommy and I'm back with another video. A new kind of video, a new series that I'm trying out. This is the pilot episode, if you will. I got back into collecting vinyl a couple years ago, but I was doing it on a slower pace than I am now. I'm getting typically at least one a week now, or a couple a week, at least 4 a month. So I thought about this, and I watch a lot of vinyl collectors on YouTube. I watch a lot of record store videos on YouTube. So I thought it would be something kind of fun. I'm enjoying it, and I always see that those channels have a lot of subscribers. So not only am I going to do this today, but I'm also going to tag the channels that I watch in the description so other people can find those channels if you haven't already. If you're one of those channel owners, kudos to you, because you got me wanting to do those kind of videos as well. And maybe I'll start doing videos out in the wild, looking for different records, different vinyl. Maybe I'll start recording those videos if the store's cool with it and sharing their collection. If you see something you like, maybe something I should listen to, you can tell me in the comments what I should be buying. And definitely based on what you know that I like as a viewer of the channel. And before I get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like this video, comment. Tell me if I should keep doing this. Tell me if it's a waste of time. Tell me what vinyl I should be looking for. I'll also probably show a short clip of what collection I do have. I've got a lot of vinyl over the years that I've lost or stolen or given away because I wasn't thinking long term at that time. I got a lot of vinyl from my parents' collection, my mom's collection mostly, a lot of 45s, even some 8-tracks, which I don't have an 8-track player, but I'm desperately seeking one out if I can find one that's a reasonable price. And I know a lot of people don't like 8-tracks, but just to have it. Also CDs. I had a ton of CDs, basically all gone now. I have maybe 4 or 5 CDs left, and I know CDs sound great, and I know CDs are kind of coming back, even cassettes are kind of coming back, and I have a few cassettes even still too, but I'm not really in the market for those right now, and I know now's like the buying time for CDs again, but I'm just more of a vinyl person. I like the idea of putting one record on, one album on, listening to the first side, taking it off, flipping it over, listen to the whole second side, not skipping around. I think that's the art of music. I think it gets lost a lot of times where people now, especially with your phones, it's always in your pocket, on the go, in the car, wherever, but people are always skipping tracks. I like to find those tracks maybe that I didn't hear as a kid paying attention, or I only wanted the album for the hit or hits. And now kind of like going back and doing the channel this way, the way we do like album reviews and rankings and stuff, you find those tracks that you didn't really pay that much attention to, or maybe you did, but like I've always been that way with certain bands. Kiss, Van Halen, Bon Jovi, Bruce Springsteen, all those songs that people typically don't know unless you're like a diehard fan. Those songs are really good songs. Just because they didn't get played on the radio doesn't mean anything. It's just not something the label or the artist decided to put out as a single or a music video, especially back then. This is going to be a video series where I just show what I've gotten recently, and I'll typically do this at least... I'm on kind of a break right now. I've spent a lot of money on records in the last couple of weeks / month. So I'm only going to show you what I've gotten in this last week. I've actually got a record sitting at the post office right now waiting for me to go pick it up. But I'm going to save that for next week in case I don't get anything, because I'm taking a break. I've spent a lot of money on vinyl recently, and just you got to kind of pace yourself at some point, or else I'm selling my house for records. So I'm going to show you what I got this week, and then I'll show a little clip of my setup, and I just got a new storage for all of my vinyl, which I'm already going to have to probably buy a second one soon because it's already basically full. So I'll show you that. I'll show you my vinyl, and I'll preface that even before I get into what I'm showing you today, and say that yes, I understand that they're not all going to have sleeve protectors. I have remedied that. It is on its way. It should either be here later today or tomorrow. And the next time I do this, all of these vinyl will be in sleeve protectors. Okay, so let's get started. First up, I'm going to show you an album I've talked about a lot recently. The Ace Frehley new solo album, 10,000 Volts. And I reviewed it. I reviewed the first 2 singles. I didn't do a review for Cherry Medicine because it was so close to the album being released. I was going to save my review for when I actually got the vinyl so I could show it off and look at it and kind of do like a first reaction kind of thing with the album in physical form. Unfortunately, the label decided they wanted to ship DHL, made a joke about it in the review, but I finally got it. I got it Tuesday, so the album was released Friday, got it Tuesday. A little bit of a delay, but whatever, you know, shit happens. I have put this in a sleeve protector already because it's new. And I also took the inner sleeve out and put that in here as well. Got all the lyrics. And then it also, shout out to the label for the shout out to them for putting it in one of these anti-static sleeves as well. Love that. And they shipped it outside. They shipped the anti-static sleeve and the vinyl in that outside. So I love that. And actually, I meant to pre-order the Eclipse or whatever variant, but this was already in my cart, I guess. So this is what I got. And I'm fine with it. It looks awesome. It looks like a melted bomb pop. That's what I told my youngest son. And he agreed. And actually, there's a couple that I'm going to show you here coming up. Actually, this one. I got 3 in one day at this vintage shop I go to. I've talked about them on the channel. I believe I talked about it on my Skid Row episode when I did that for the anniversary of the debut. But the record store I typically go to, vintage shop, it's not really vintage, it's not really a record store. It's kind of more becoming that now that vinyl is more of a thing. But I don't always want to spend $40 on one vinyl in a day when I can get 2 or 3 for the same price. But I did spend about $70 this day. But first up, because 2 or one band, and I'm saving them for last because I'm just now starting to collect this band, even though they've been a part of my life for a long time, my whole life. But this one, this is my last of my, I guess I should, Eat 'em and Smile band, David Lee Roth era. A Little Ain't Enough is next up, and I'm on eBay seeking it. I'm hoping I can find it in the wild for cheaper. Maybe somebody doesn't know what they have. But eBay, it's like $60 to $100, and I don't want to pay that for it right now. So, David Lee Roth, Skyscraper. Love this record. Just Like Paradise is one of my favorite David Lee Roth songs solo. And let's see. I only listened to this once briefly because I was like, I had to go to work. So, I only got to listen to it for a minute. But has the original insert with the lyrics. And I've talked about this obviously with my Van Halen ranking series still going on. I actually planned on recording that video first, but I'm going to try to get the next one out tonight. But yeah, so here we go. Clean. I also have pets, so another reason to put it in a plastic sleeve protector, Tommy, right? Purchase at Flashbacks, shout out to them, the vintage store that I check out that has a lot of records. I've been going there. They've been open 20 years this year, so happy anniversary to them. And I actually performed there when I did my Elvis thing. That was one of my first, like, kind of half-ass paying shows. Instead of actually paying me money, I did a 3-hour show outside in August in the heat. In Arkansas, if you've ever been here or you live here, you know that it gets hot as, to put it in KISS terms, hotter than hell in August. 3 hours for them, and I got basically an employee discount for the rest of my life, so that's pretty sweet. In the long run, worth it. Next up, and then we'll get to the 3 album run of one band. Next up is a band that I love, and nobody seems to want me to rank these albums of this band, but just I kind of wanted to get all or most on vinyl before I get to them after I finish the Van Halen series. So if you don't follow us on social media at Heels and Quads, if you don't follow us, you don't know what's coming next, but I'm going to be doing New Jersey's own Bon Jovi. And this album is one that I got, I want to say, I got this album, I'd heard the songs, but I bought it on CD in 8th grade. I want to say I got my cast put on when I broke my leg. That's when I got this, playing football. So, this is, that's an insert. Bon Jovi, These Days, from 1995. I absolutely love this record. It's a different sounding Bon Jovi. Obviously, they were trying to start, like, alternative rock kind of thing, but this was a huge record, especially in Europe. I actually talked about it when I talked about Van Halen Balance, when I ranked that record. They did a tour of Europe, and Van Halen opened a lot of those shows. And it's a 2-disc set. This is actually disc 1, or disc 2, excuse me. Played this a couple of times actually already. I just love it, front to back. I think this album is highly underrated, but we'll see where I rank it in my full Bon Jovi series when that comes out. And here's disc 1. And obviously, I don't have my CD of it anymore, but I remember the insert, and that's basically what they've done, or the booklet, and that's basically what they've done with the record. Inserts here are just pictures from the inside of the booklet. The lyrics, the thank yous. The thank yous are actually on this one here with the band, and this was the first album where they didn't list Alec John Such as a member because he was gone. Hugh McDonald had been playing bass. Hugh McDonald was actually on Runaway from the first record. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people, a lot of Bon Jovi fans don't even know that, actually. Bon Jovi. I have all of the 80s Bon Jovi. I still need Keep the Faith. And then I'll go like Crush. All that stuff. Alright, so next up is a 3-album run that I went on. And I'll show you the 2 that I got from Flashbacks. First, I got one for $28 and I got the other for $24, which original pressings, all the original stuff. I mean, I think one might have come with like a merch form or something, but original pressing, second album from Maiden, Killers, excellent condition. I mean, not like mint, but I mean, whoever had this before me, I loved it. They probably had it in like a frame or something hanging on their wall at one point, or towards the end, I would think, or just didn't really play it. But from 1981, and this is obviously the last record featuring Paul Di'Anno on vocals and Clive Burr on drums before Nico would join. Produced by Martin Birch, of course, but even my wife was like, I love their covers. So kind of gave me a reason to get these. And, you know, with Levi doing his favorite band, Iron Maiden, doing his ranking series of Maiden, and we've done a couple of album reviews. You can find those in the live stream list on our channel, and go back and watch some of those, because we haven't done Killers. We haven't done this record either, but we've done one of these already, and he hasn't gotten to it in his ranking, obviously. But there's a few Maiden ones we've talked about. This one has a crease in the top left, but a first pressing, and I've already got actually, this one came in a sleeve protector. A little bit of a crease in the left top corner, but I'll take it. Number of the Beast, absolute classic. I've almost bought this several times before I even started deciding to collect Maiden records, but so, I mean, and eventually when the kids are out of the house, I might go for more pristine copies, but for now, this will do. And we've got first album with Bruce Dickinson, so I've got 2, 3. Live Burstall on the drums. But man, this is how I found Maiden. I remember I've talked about it on the podcast 1,000 times, but I used to watch a show called VH1 Rock Show on VH1, and it was hosted by this guy named Kane. He had a cameo on Sex and the City or something later on, or around that time. And then Scotty Ian hosted it, and that was kind of like my intro into like, not necessarily like metal, but like when I really got into music and wanting to do something involved in music, whether it was sing or be in a band or whatever. But like, because I remember watching Headbangers Ball as a kid, but I was just listening to or watching the videos because they were cool. Then when with Rock Show, I was like more like invested in music as a whole. I actually need to take this out of the sleeve. Yeah, I was gonna say, I know this had the insert. There's the lyric sheet. And then some live photos. Pretty cool. And I edit Levi's videos for him. And the more I listen to him talk about them, even doing our shows where we talk about Maiden albums that I have to listen to, or I get to listen to, I should say, the full way through, I've become a huge Iron Maiden fan, I have to say. I didn't get it for the longest time. I mean, I liked the hits, especially the Number of the Beast album, but now I'm like, man, I don't know how they just didn't resonate with me. And that's the cool thing about talking about older music, vintage music, if you will, the classics. That's the cool thing about it, is now I'm getting to find all this stuff, and it's somewhat new to me because I don't listen to new music. I don't listen to that kind of stuff. So getting to find stuff that I'm gonna like, and that's where you come in also in the comments. Tell me what I should get, what you think I should like based on my taste, what I've talked about or what I'm currently talking about, what you think I would like. Next up is my personal favorite Maiden album, and I've now listened to all of them. And I might rank them later on. Maybe that would be like a fun little thing that we've talked about, actually, where I rank Maiden and Levi ranks Kiss. But I'm going to go ahead and say it here. This is my favorite Maiden record. And we've done this one on a live, so you can check it out. My full thoughts, track by track. But it's Iron Maiden, Somewhere in Time. I love this album. I love the sound of it, the production. I love the artwork, that Terminator Blade Runner kind of look. We've actually covered this album twice, but you can't find the first one. That Terminator Blade Runner look is so cool. And just all the little Easter eggs in this cover, just so clever. Maiden seems to be a band, as I'm going through kind of learning more, they're really all about the fans, and I really appreciate and respect that. This one's even got, I didn't even notice that. I don't know if I can get it in there. Here we go. The original price tag of $8.88, but here we go. We've got the insert here, the sleeve, picture of the band, lyrics on the other side. This one also I picked up from eBay, I should say. I do a lot of my record shopping on eBay. I'm trying to lean more towards the vintage originals, or at least close to the originals. Second press is fine. The Bon Jovi these days was brand new. Or it came out or it was pressed in 14, I believe, 14 or 16. So I got that new off of eBay, but it's a company that I usually use, and I'll put the little name logo here because I can't remember off the top of my head right now. Recording, and I'm not stopping recording. And we've got the vinyl, which looks really nice, clean. Again, I mean, the shrink wrap was still on it. This person obviously was a huge Maiden fan and maybe just saw a window of opportunity, knows that records are selling again, and instead of selling it for $1 to a store, up the street, 20 years ago, they waited it out, kind of like we all did with our baseball cards. Now, still not worth anything for the most part, except for a select few from the junk wax era. But yeah, I love this record. And that little cartoony group shot, it's so cool. Anyway, so that's it. And I'll show you right now the console that I use, that I got for Christmas. I've been meaning I was going to do a video just on it because it's so awesome. My mom and sister got for me for Christmas from an estate sale. It's a 19, we think. From everything, I actually joined a Facebook group just to find out more information on it because it came with like the serial number and everything, but I couldn't find anything online. I wanted a year because I was thinking like mid to late 60s. Come to find out it's a 71 Magnavox. And with the top, I'll show everything, but the top drawers that slide in and out. And then it's got the turntable, the radio, and all the bells and whistles. And it's got the speakers in it, but it's like the record player that your grandparents had when you went to their house. Or maybe you had it as a kid. I don't know. Our demographic is all over the place on YouTube. I love it. I love that we get kind of a variety of flavors. But I want to hear from you. What albums that I just picked up and showed do you have? Did you get the new Ace Frehley album? Are you one of those commenters that commented on my review, basically shitting on it? It's whatever. I wasn't a part of the album. I don't get any credit or any money from talking about it. I just generally like it. Even my wife was kind of like, it sounds kind of computerized, but that's fine, I'm just glad that Ace is still putting out new music. But even those comments, they don't bother me. I just say, hey man, cool, whatever, cool comment. Thanks for commenting, because it helps the channel. It helps us grow. So leave a comment, tell me which of these albums you have, which of these albums that you don't have that you intend to get. If you think I should keep doing a series like this, if this is a waste of time, closing in on 30 minutes, hey, I like it. Yeah, I don't see this ending anytime soon. It's a fun little hobby, keeps me busy, on top of working and having kids and a wife, which it's nice to have a hobby though. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and I also got a new microphone.